with having the customers with the training programs, and so working with them, and as you know, all your customers have different levels of abilities, and so some of them are have already gotten jobs and that kind of thing. So we needed to make sure that we had the exit status put into the ability for them to choose different options for the exit status, and then to also make sure that we provide the documentation that you need for these customers. So what we have right now, we still have our standard, this enrollment. Let me go back. I'm on the dashboard, and I selected the enrolled dashboard, so we're on the enrolled dashboard. And, none of this has changed up here. It's still the same process. They still have to upload the 2151A. You can get a summary to see where people are with these numbers. And again, I'm on test, so we're not looking at real people, real numbers here. And then the progress is pretty much the same. One of the things that we did change is we changed out, we did have complete up in here, and I believe, if I remember correctly, and we did break that out into a new section called completion status. So we have hired by employer, and they're in the follow-up period. So for right now, they can mark them as exited, and that they need to provide 90 days of follow-up. So once they have started the whole exited process, and marked as hired by employer, the clock starts ticking, and they have to follow up with them for 90 days. So during that whole 90 days, they are still going to be required to complete the 2151A form. And then at the end of the at the end of the 90 days, then they'll go ahead and they'll switch over to this exited status. Completion documentation needs to be uploaded. And really what that is just a reminder that, hey, this person is at the end of their 90 days, but you're not really finished all the way yet. You still need to upload the 2151A and say that this person has officially completed the program. So once they're hired by an employer and they're uploaded the 2151A, then they'll move down to this green area, and you'll see all the people that your clients that have been hired by an employer and they're outside of their 90-day follow-up period. Now we have a few other exit statuses as well, such as enrolled in training, enlisted in the military. For those, they don't have to go through the 90-day follow-up period. What will happen is when they mark them as enrolled in training, they'll be required to upload the 2151A that says that they have been exited, or I'm sorry, that they have completed the program, and then provide the documentation to show that they have been enrolled in training. And once that has occurred, they'll show up in this area of the dashboard. Same thing with enlisted in the military. They have to upload the 2151A, say that they have completed the EPIC program, and provide the documentation that shows that they've enlisted in the military. And if they don't have that information, they're going to hang out in this yellow area, because remember, the yellow area means that we need to do something with them. If they have dropped out of the program, or they're no longer SNAP eligible, moved out of state or region, incarcerated, withdrew from the study, if for whatever reason that they have completed the program or they're exited from the program, and these are any of their statuses, they still have to upload the 2151A to say that they are no longer in the EPIC program and they have completed it. So that's the overview for these for the new area on the enrolled dashboard. And I'll just show you kind of what has been updated. When we started going through and started adding all this stuff that we need to collect for their progress to make sure that they're going through the system, me go ahead. We have updated the progress page, and it's not that it's changed really so much. It's just that we've changed the look and feel of it because there's a lot of information and you can kind of get lost on the page. So we left the SNAP eligible because we definitely want people to see that right away if they are or are not SNAP eligible. And then we put the contact, each of these, you just click on them and they, open and close and that type of thing. So you can get directly to the information that you're looking for. So it's an example of the exited information. And then it just default opens to the 2151A. So if you go to this page, and you're looking specifically, for their appointment or their 2151 upload, just select that link and you'll go directly to that section on the progress page. So this is out in production right now. And then the other item that we have updated that should be of interest to you is that on the agency page last time, whenever we showed this, I think I used this one. You could see, you could go to your resources, the agency page, or I think yours might say agencies up here instead of resources. But regardless, you go to the agency page, you'll see whatever CBOs are in your region. And then you'll go to the upload page, and then and I didn't select the right one, but if they had different uploads, you can see what the CBO has uploaded and made visible to, it's either make it visible to just the CBO staff or to DH staff plus the CBO. And so you'll see the ones that have been made visible to you. And so one of the things that they wanted, one of the suggestions was to allow the DHS staff to upload to the CBO's upload page. And so that has been released and is out on production, so you should be able to do that now. So those were the two big items that I wanted to show you. And then we can talk about some of the other items, but here I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen just so that if Olivia wants to share her screen, she can do that, or Dee can. Dee or Olivia, is there anything that you want to say on those topics before we move on to a different topic?
No, but I think I want to know if everybody likes to look at that progress page, because I think it makes everything look a whole lot nicer. So if you do like that new progress page, just raise your hand and let us know. So nobody does. Oh,
yeah, no,
and
I hear that coming in. A couple people.
All right, good, good. I think it's a lot cleaner that way. Okay, so then Olivia, I've got my screen open, so let me talk a little bit about the re-invite. So on here, on the intake dashboard, we want to look at the numbers that are taking place in this area. And ooh, I'm actually live right now. Sorry, I thought I was on test. But what you can do, so I won't show you any names, but what I can do is show you that we have 140 people scheduled for orientation right now. We have 175 people scheduled to complete orientation, meaning something happened, we might need to touch base with those people. We've got 3,600 people that missed orientation. So what we want to do with those is we want to click on that number. And there's a lot of reasons why people may have missed orientation. And so what we can do is in here we can go in by region. So I'm going to go into Region 4 because we have good news for Region 4. we now have all 4 offices set up. So, and we were able to sort out, because initially we only had Decatur, so now we have everybody sorted out by their specific office, Decatur, Lincoln, Quincy, and Beardstown. So that's really good news for them. But the other thing that you can do, so you can pick out by office. So if I go in here and I pick Decatur, and I go in and I look for other customer identifiers, or if I go in and look for advanced search, I can put in when their original orientation date was, or I can look for when their follow-up date should have been. And then what I can do is go to the bottom and re-invite all of those customers based on the parameters that I set up by picking these dates. So if I want to go in and I want to pick March 1 to April 1, I just have to pick those dates, and I find out by clicking search, I get a filtered list. And I'm not going to scroll down any further so that I don't get customers' names on there. And I'm sorry, let me minimize this. Then all you have to do is whoever is in that list, just click that re-invite all customers. And that way you get all of those customers re-invited, and you pick, and I'm not going to click this right now, you pick the date that you want them to come back. So if you want to do a reschedule for 2 weeks from now, you can just re-invite all those people from March. Maybe they've gotten the word on the street that all of this is happening and sanctions are happening, or there's something good going on. So then you can just go in and re-invite all these people, and it will give you the ability to recycle some people that maybe had a reason that they missed, or maybe they didn't think it was important, or whatever. You can just re-invite individuals, but you have to go in and actually pick the person. Let me try to get into test here so that I can show you that. It's going to log me out. I need to log in a test. Oops. Sorry, folks. I guess I could just go to a new screen. That would make more sense. I'm out of my normal environment right now, so that's why I'm... Okay, so now if I go to my intake dashboard and if I go to missed orientation, so I can still do it as a group, or I can see this list and I can go to blue, click on their profile, and go to the Intake Activities tab and change the invitation date here. And that would re-invite them. You would have to manually send them a 1721, but you could do the re-invite here. Or if you want to filter it through that other list, you can just pick that person and do the re-invite. If you want to look by RIN number or case ID, you can do it through that as a filter on the list, so that if you go back to the intake dashboard, and you go to missed orientation, then, excuse me one second, Lisa, these two tables go in those two crates. Sorry, they're packing without me. It's like somebody's packing up my kitchen and I'm not telling them where the pots and pans are going. Okay, so then what you could do on this is filter by other customer identifiers, find the EPIS study ID or the RIN ID from DHS, enter that number, and then the person would filter down here, and then you could just re-invite from here, and it would automatically fill out the information. Okay. Yes, you would still have to make sure that they were eligible for SNAP at this time. So that would be an important thing. Okay. So I'm done with that part. There is a difference between application 1 and application 2, and we've been having some conversations with some of the people. So if somebody comes in that missed their follow-up appointment and they were on application 1 and there's an issue with their, because maybe they had a felony conviction, you need to call Olivia, Natasha, or I, and we will work with you individually on those people. There's only about, Natasha, what was it, 26?
Yeah, there was just a small handful that would be better to just to deal with them on a case-by-case basis.
Right. So if you do have somebody like that come back in, then we will deal with those people individually. All right. So I can stop sharing my screen. Olivia, do you want to talk about numbers?
Yeah. Alrighty, so I'm just quickly going to go over the intake dashboard and run through some of the numbers that I may be contacting people about, and also some numbers that you may want to be watching on your end too, just to make sure none of your customers get stuck anywhere on the dashboard, and then they can continue to flow through, so you can see what progress they're making and where they're at in the EPIC program. So as you covered the missed orientation numbers, there's also another attended orientation not going to apply. These customers, whenever they attended orientation, they did not decline to participate, but they stated that they could not apply at this time. I pulled up an example here of what one of the customers had entered in. Is they attended orientation and they did not want to participate. They were interested, but they needed to reschedule for a different date or time to complete the online application process. So customers that are attended not going to apply, they can go back and be re-invited too. They had just stated that one of these reasons that they currently were not interested, but that they were not declining to participate altogether. The other area that we want to watch is the application not started. Right here, I've actually had these same 11 customers in this dashboard for a couple months now. So if you want to go into your intake dashboard, it will not give you all the numbers you're seeing here. It will only give you the numbers for your customers. And just see if you have anybody who's kind of stuck right here, because a lot of these customers are from a long time ago. And they came to the orientation, but they never completed their application. So they may need to be reached out to again to see if they're coming in for their follow-up meeting or what exactly is going on with them. And then if we go down a little bit more, the customer profile information needs finished. So we only have one customer in here, which is really good. A lot of you guys have been really good about making sure you're going back in and updating their information. But not only do you have to go in and make sure their information is updated, there will be a red bar across the top of the page. And you just have to confirm yes or no that you did update their information. Once you click yes, you have updated it, that red bar will go away, and the customer will begin flowing through that process a lot more easier. Like I do know this customer, he is already with their CDO, so I will be contacting the DHS caseworker for the customer in here today to see if we can get that information updated, because they should be displaying right here. This should be 287. So the next area that we need to keep our eye on is also ready for review by DHS caseworkers. This means they are just ready to go through eligibility review. And I understand some of the people will come back in a later time to do that. So there will be customers that will sit in there for a little while. We just want to make sure that we're not forgetting about customers and just leaving them in that section. Part of the eligibility review is where you can mark if the customer is no longer SNAP eligible or declines to participate. So if that is the reason that you're not going through with the eligibility review, that needs to be marked on that page, and that way they can display properly down here in the red column of the eligibility review form and not just sit up here in the yellow. And then for the consent section of the dashboard, these two columns right here, the needs to be scheduled for consent and missed consent meeting. These are just the customers that we need to make sure that we are getting them an appointment to come in. And this is where they would go through EPICS, and then you would determine if they were assigned to a program. I noticed that a lot of people in both of these sections here had completed all of the eligibility review and a couple months ago, and then that's just kind of where they stopped. If they are selected for a training program, then we also need to put them into EPICS and see which of these training programs they get assigned to, if they get assigned to any at all. So we don't want to just leave customers sitting here either. And then not assigned to a CDO, this is awesome. Everybody is making sure that they are going through and finishing the process. We're not leaving anybody just kind of hanging in the assessment tab, so that is awesome. Thank you guys for really staying on top of that. And that is all of the intake dashboard that I was going to cover today. Do you guys have any questions on any of those areas that I just went over? I don't see anybody typing, so I am finished with my part. Do you, Natasha, is there anything you need to go over again?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And this is just something that we just need to talk about. One of the things that we want to know for outreach purposes is what are the answers or what are the comments that you're receiving in the field from people about why are they wanting to participate and why are they not wanting to participate. And we can address those issues when we're trying to do our outreach, but we're looking for some of the things, the why, not if they're on a waiver, not if they're medically unable, that's one thing, but if they're just saying, no, I don't want to do that. We just want to know some of those reasons. So if you could send some of those to epic@illinoisworknet.com. The other thing that I think we're talking about doing is adding potentially a spot in the predictive section area. Natasha, that's where we were talking, right?
Yeah, one more time.
We're talking about adding a why are they wanting to participate in the predictive section of the eligibility review page.
Yeah, I mean, at this time, yeah, we haven't made there hasn't been a decision really made. We're open for suggestions, and if they have any, suggestions or thoughts as to, or have people specifically have told them, just why they don't want to participate, then, or why they do want to participate. I guess there's two sides to that. Why you don't want to or why you do want to, and then we can, then we can use that information to help with outreach.
Right.
So it hasn't been like we're going to do something. I just don't know what the something is yet. Right now, we're trying to get feedback and find the best approach.
And right now, until we do have something hard and fast in place, if you could get an answer and maybe just add it as a case note. If somebody really gives you really like, man, this is a really great opportunity, I'm really glad, well then if you say why, just add it in as a case note if you think about it. That would be pretty helpful. And then send that to Epic or copy me on it or something. All right. I don't have anything else.
One of the things I was just looking up, again, I'm not at my computer, so it's a little awkward too for me sometimes with this one, but I believe if I switch back over to the notes, Joseph had asked a felony conviction with a hard stop. One of the things I didn't mention, and I don't remember if we mentioned it last time or not, but if we have the epic.com page up and we're on step 3, and we did break it out, so now that page has the options to choose from violent felony versus non-violent felony, because I know that was a concern for some people. So I, put in Region 5, and I put in, I selected all the ones that are for that region, and I have a non-violent felony, and I put in the zip code 62959 because I think that's Marion. And as I look down the page, I can see there's, like a medical transcriptionist with the Mantricon, and then like welder, the maintenance tech certificate, OSHA certificate, forklift credentials, the CDL. So there are some options there for people that do have a non-violent felony conviction.
I've just pulled up on my screen the step 3 to show them.
But Region 5 is what okay, either way.
Pick this. And there are still programs that somebody could do if they have nonviolent. Nothing in healthcare will be allowed if you have violence or sexual register offender. There are things available, so we'll work. If there's something specific that you need, call Natasha, Olivia, or I, and we will work with you. All right. Okay. All right. I don't have anything else. Natasha, do you?
I think that covers it, unless anybody else has something.
And Olivia, do you have anything else?
Nope.
Hey, look, it's 10:30 and we're done. Woohoo! All right. All right. We'll talk to everybody next Friday. We'll get minutes out to you. Check out the DHS staffing procedure. If you happen to be in one of the areas outside of Chicago and you want to try to use that process, you are welcome to do that. It's just a matter of we want to make sure that everybody is following the same process along the way. But right now, the staffings are only required in Cook County. All right, so have a great weekend, everybody.